FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr is the man raising the red flag here. He joins me now. The Justice Department, Brendan, recently sued SpaceX for discriminatory hiring practices. The SEC has a probe going on into X. It seems like there's a big swirl around Elon Musk suddenly. What's going on?
Yeah, thanks so much. Look, I think it's obvious to everyone what's happening here. I think it goes back to the White House. Last year, President Biden stood behind the podium adorned with the official seal of the President of the United States and said that Elon Musk is worth being looked at. He was asked by a reporter how. The president looked down and said there's a lot of ways. And in fact, there are. Since then, we've seen a deluge of actions by the administrative state, as you noted, the FAA, the DOJ, the FTC, the NLRB, even the Fish and Wildlife Services have been looking into Elon Musk. And as you noted, the FCC, where I work, just this week, we issued a decision that raked back a 2020 award of nearly $1 billion to bring high-speed internet services to rural Americans in a decision that simply doesn't make any sense when viewed from the lens of the facts or the law or the policy. In fact, we made up an entirely new standard and applied it to only one entity, which was Starlink. None of the other 180 entities that won awards back in 2020 were held to this standard. It was simply moving the goalposts.
Well, so that sounds like the definition of an unconstitutional move by the federal government, which is essentially the equivalent of a law, in this case, a ruling, against really one company run by one man who they don't like much for a whole bunch of reasons, but most of it's political.
Yeah, look, we're approaching 12 of the last 16 years where the administrative state has been controlled by Democrats, and it wields an awful lot of power. And look, you could step back and say, well, Elon Musk has a lot of businesses. Of course, he's going to have a lot of run-ins with the government. But look at these decisions on their merits, including just the FCC one. But you have the NLRB going after Tesla for dress code violations. You have the FTC trying to get information out reporters that got access to information that ended up in the Twitter files. And you got the Fish and Wildlife Services that was looking into the fact that there was a bobwhite quail egg and some blue land crabs that were charred after a SpaceX launch. I mean, that sounds more like surf and turf to me than a federal case.
Mr. Commissioner, we're going to have you back because I can't even believe this is too wild to even contemplate on a Friday night, but you gave us a bird's eye view into it. Thank you so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.